I mean,
Okay, so I have something prepared. Are you ready to do some translating, Bjorn? Are you ready for it?
sure.
We got a
Yeah.
translation segment. So the big talk was afterwards. There were a couple moments. There was like a handball call, and the ref's like, "No, it wasn't him." But there was one moment that was a big old penalty that was missed. I don't know what minute it was. 69th minute. So I forgot what the minute was. 58th maybe. I don't remember. But it was clearly off the ball, behind two legs, getting Adeyemi in the box. Total foul. The ref missed it. They
Well,
called. Aiden Terzic went nuts. The referee gave him a yellow card to shut up. And then he did not go to the VAR and take a look. He just kept the game going. And afterwards, people lamented. I think the coach and two players followed the referee into the referee's room and like bitched at him. It was a whole thing. It was a whole ref. It was like a very English Premier League day because that happens in England all the time, but Germany not so much. But today it was a big deal that like you missed a penalty, you cost us 2 points. How could you? How could you? That was shitty refing. The next day, because it's Germany and all season long, German refs are always available right away to explain themselves. They're either on the post game or whatever. This was a big call, potentially a season deciding call. It was probably the biggest call of the year, maybe, potentially.
let's not
Potentially.
let's not exaggerate this or anything. Yeah.
I said potentially. I mean, if they lose by 2 points, people are going to talk about this. I mean, you know what I mean? Anyway, he goes on
Well,
Doppelpass, Germany's biggest soccer show, and explains himself that he was wrong, and he apologizes. It's so nice. It's nice for refs to do that. Anyway, I have that clip on here, and I would love to show an American audience or English-speaking audience how this could work. So I'm going to play a little bit here, and then Bjorn, do the honors.
all right.
This will be... All right.
Okay.
Natürlich so, dass man sich der großen Verantwortung zur jetzigen Saisonphase sehr bewusst ist und dementsprechend auch einen hohen Anspruch an sich selber hat. Das ist gar keine Frage.
Okay. Yeah. He is saying how he is very aware of the big responsibility he has, especially at this part of the season. And so it's goes without saying, it's without question that he has very high expectations from himself in these games.
Und wenn die Dinge dann so laufen, wie sie jetzt am Freitag gelaufen sind, dann ist man damit natürlich alles andere als glücklich.
And when things go poorly, like they did on Friday, then obviously he's not happy about it.
And to be clear, this is Sascha Stegemann, the head referee of the Bochum-Dortmund game.
Vielleicht ganz kurz zur Einordnung der drei Situationen, weil da ja von 3 Fehlentscheidungen die Rede war. Der erste Vorgang mit Schahn ist für mich relativ klar, dass es sich um kein Foulspiel handelt und auch die dritte Szene ist kein strafbares Handspiel. Hängen bleibt dann diese Situation, die wir hier sehen, und da muss man sagen, das ist am Ende des Tages nach Betrachtung der Bilder ein klarer Strafstoß.
Okay, so we're not getting the clips because of rights issues.
Rights issues.
But yeah, there was a potential foul that people were upset about. Then there was the handball and he's saying the situation number 1 and situation number 3 he feels good about his decision, but the second one he thinks was a penalty that he should have given.
Yeah, and that's the one that's being contested about.
Spielfeldentscheidung, und auch da muss ich sagen, es ist mein Anspruch, diese Situation auf dem Spielfeld selber zu lösen. Was war jetzt der Grund, warum es nicht geklappt hat? War also, die Flanke kommt von links rein, ich gucke dem Ball nach und sehe am Ende des Tages eigentlich nur noch einen detaillierten Ausschnitt, nämlich aus dem Zweikampf Suarez gegen Adeyemi. Sehe, wie Adeyemi den Fuß rausstellt, sich in einer Drehbewegung befindet, dann eigentlich über Suarez drüber fällt und es für mich den Anschein macht, als sei es ein gesuchter Kontakt und dementsprechend auch ein gesuchter Elfmeter.
So his impression was he is looking, the ball comes in, he's following the ball's getting crossed in. This is how he's trying to explain how he got this wrong. And so he is seeing Adeyemi put his leg out. And so in his interpretation, he felt like Adeyemi was looking for the contact and the subsequent penalty kick, and that's why he didn't give it.
And this is Dortmund forward Adeyemi. So he
Yeah,
thought he
versus
was.
Suarez versus the defender Suarez.
Wenn ich jetzt
Which I thought, you know, was potentially plausible. Anyway, keep going.
die Bilder sehe, dann fehlt mir in der Gesamtbetrachtung am Ende die Dynamik in der Situation, die ich auf dem Spielfeld nicht erfasst habe, nämlich das unkontrollierte Reinspringen von Suarez und dementsprechend auch das hohe Risiko, was er nimmt. Er spielt nicht den Ball und deswegen ist es nach Betrachtung der Bilder, wie eben schon gesagt, ein Strafstoß.
Okay,
Zum
so
Zweiten,
hold on. So the he said on watching it back, he feels that Suarez was sort of out of control and kind of made sort of a high risk move of jumping into Adeyemi, and so he felt like that was definitely a penalty. So I guess what he's saying is that Suarez's kind of out of controlness in the way he's tackling Adeyemi kind of overrides Adeyemi perhaps looking for the contact.
Aspekt der Frage ist natürlich am Ende des Tages so, dass hier ein Eingriff auch richtig und fachgerecht gewesen wäre, der hier jetzt leider Gottes nicht erfolgt ist. Aber auch das will ich nochmal klipp und klar sagen, dem Robert Hartmann, dem geht es heute genauso wie mir auch. Wir sind beide mit der Situation alles andere als glücklich. Wären auch gerne zusammen heute hier gewesen.
Das hattet ihr vor, ne?
Genau, die Situation auch mal darzustellen, wie die Kommunikation war. Der konnte allerdings heute leider nicht kommen, weil er eine private Veranstaltung hat. Die Kinder haben Kommunion und deswegen bin ich alleine da, um die Dinge zu erklären. Ich weiß, es ist jetzt für Außenstehende schwierig zu vermitteln und es soll auch bei weitem keine Rechtfertigung für irgendwas sein, sondern nur ein Erklärungsansatz. Er ist in dem Moment, hat sich die Bilder angeschaut, auch die Bilder, die wir jetzt sehen, und ist am Ende zu dem Ergebnis gekommen, dass es für ihn keine klare und offensichtliche Fehlentscheidung ist. Und das ist dann leider falsch, aber glaube ich dem System der Faktor Mensch immer nicht.
Okay. When we see...
It's pretty much, this is my next bit, sorry.
Okay. Well, all right, so... He was saying how Robert Hartmann, the VAR, should have, in his opinion, at the end of the day, he keeps saying, am Ende des Tages. At the end of the day, he says, the VAR, Robert Hartmann, should have intervened, but he, upon looking at the images, felt that it wasn't a clear and obvious error, so he did intervene, but he also feels bad about it. They initially were going to come on the show together, but Robert Hartmann was not available this day because his children
have communion.
Their first communion, and that is a big deal in Germany. So he couldn't make it. But they wanted to appear together and explain how this all worked, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. It was no good. So he's now on his own to explain himself, and he's not looking to excuse it. He's just looking to explain the process, and he feels bad about it.
Bingo. I love the words he's using. Anyway, so I just summarized this next question to speed up a little bit.
Dem System der Faktor Mensch immer nicht.
When we see, so the question guy pretty much asked this question and just boiled it down. When we see shots of the Kölner Keller, which is the basement where all the refs, the VAR and Köln, where the VAR folk are, like here in MLS, they're all in Atlanta. It's the Atlanta basement, I guess. There are 5 refs there, or 4, watching monitors. Why does anyone speak up? And he had a longer question about it. Pretty much he's just saying, how come when everyone's looking at these monitors, they're not saying anything? Okay. And the reason I like this is because it's like he's asking the questions we're all thinking, and I love it. And this is his response to that.
Ja, wie gesagt, kann ich gut nachvollziehen, aber vor so einer Station sitzen in Summe 4 Menschen. 2, die ausschließlich für die Technik zuständig sind, die Bilder einspielen, die vom Videoassistenten-Team, das sind also 2 weitere Personen, nämlich der Videoassistent und sein Assistent, dann angefordert werden, um die Situation entsprechend zu bewerten. So, und die beiden, der Videoassistent und sein Assistent, sind eben am Freitagabend bei Betrachtung der unterschiedlichen Perspektiven eben zu dem Ergebnis gekommen, dass auch für sie maßgeblich ist, dass das Fußrausstellen von Adeyemi der gesuchte Kontakt ist und deswegen es für sie nicht ein klarer und offensichtlicher Fehler ist.
So he's saying there's 4 people in the basement in Cologne. 2 of them are just tech guys. Their job is just to to play the images that the video assistant referee demands, and the other two are the video assistant referee and his assistant. So he's the video assistant's assistant, and
Right.
and so they came to this conclusion, which I thought, was legit. I thought, well, anyway, I've certainly. Well, anyway, I will comment later.
Right.
I'll just keep translating. But yeah, that's how that works. And so there's really only one person deciding this, and that's
Und
the
haben mir
assistant
deswegen
referee.
auch nicht empfohlen, mir die Szene nochmal anzusehen.
And because
Und
they
ich hätte mir
thought
natürlich
that Adeyemi was putting his leg out to draw the contact, they did not recommend for him to look at it again.
rückblickend betrachtet gewünscht, ich hätte es mir nochmal angeguckt. Ja, das steht völlig außer Frage, weil so sitze ich jetzt heute Morgen hier mit einem mehr als unguten Gefühl und hätte den Fehler, den ich auf dem Spielfeld gemacht habe und der auch hätte vermieden werden können für mich als Schiedsrichter, hätte ihn natürlich in dem Moment gerne sofort korrigiert. Das steht völlig außer Frage.
So, Stefan Effenberg. So yeah, he is saying how he wishes he would have looked at it again. Now in retrospect, he wishes that because then he wouldn't have to sit there with this ungutes Gefühl, with this bad feeling. He feels bad. He has a bad feeling about the whole thing, and he could have corrected it. So in retrospect, he wishes that he would have looked at it again.
Yeah, and he's staring right down the barrel, which is the lion's face, Stefan Effenberg, who's on this panel, and Effenberg is looking at him. I don't know if you had to read that face expression. He's sort of being apprehensive, but later he just looks away.
Warum ist es jetzt am Ende des Tages nicht?
He just looks away, which I love. He's like, no thanks, camera.
Dazu gekommen, ja, du hast als Schiedsrichter, gehst du dann an den Spielfeldrand und schaust dir Situationen dann an, wenn du berechtigte Zweifel an deiner ursprünglichen Entscheidung hattest. So, und wann habe ich berechtigte Zweifel an meiner ursprünglichen Entscheidung? In 99% der Fällen dann, wenn der Videoassistent sich bei mir meldet und sagt, pass auf, in den Bildern ist zu sehen, du hast eine klare und offensichtliche Fehlentscheidung getroffen, ich würde dir empfehlen, schau es dir nochmal an.
So I mean, this is pretty straightforward. He's saying, yeah, he only goes to the monitor if he has a doubt about his decision, and the reason he would doubt his decision is because of the video. The video assistant says, "Hey, we looked at the pictures, and this is what they're showing, and we recommend that you take a look." And that's how he that's how we would go to the monitor in 99% of the cases, and in this case, that didn't happen.
1% der Fällen ist es dann so, dass du als Schiedsrichter das Gefühl hast, irgendwas stimmt hier nicht. Also da gibt es dann mehrere Facetten. Es kann sein, dass du sagst, okay, mir stand einer genau davor, ich habe es irgendwie gar nicht gesehen, ja, und oder damit auch kombiniert, dass es irgendwie ein Vehemenz gibt an wirklich echten Protesten und dem Gefühl der Ungerechtigkeit, was du sofort als Schiedsrichter auf dem Spielfeld spürst. So, und das war am Freitagabend für mich nicht wahrnehmbar. Und deswegen nochmal, und auch von außen ist jetzt nichts Richtung Spielfeld irgendwie transportiert worden, sodass ich in dem Moment keine Veranlassung hatte, an meiner Wahrnehmung und auch nicht an der Beschreibung bzw. Bewertung durch den Videoassistenten zu zweifeln. Rückblickend betrachtet, nochmal, wäre es mir sehr, sehr lieb gewesen, ich hätte es gemacht.
Okay, this is interesting, actually. He's saying how... So 99% of the cases where he goes to the monitor is because the VAR tells him to. The 1%, the exception of cases where he has doubt, even though the VAR does not say anything, is if he either feels like he hasn't really, something is wrong, where he says he has the reaction that something is not right. Either he hasn't really fully seen it, or there's just a level of protest, or this sense of like real injustice among the players, where he feels like, maybe there's something going on that makes that where I should take a look. And that was not the case here. He didn't feel that at the time, and it didn't come from the outside. The VAR didn't say anything, so he didn't go back to check, even though now he wishes that he had. Which I think that's interesting, that the reaction of players does play a role in whether the referee will have confidence in his decision or not. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, the reason I think that's interesting too is because there was a response. Am I wrong? Like he gave Eden Terzic a yellow card for being too
Well,
responsive.
I think the coaches. I mean, now I'm just speculating here. I don't know what he would say to this, but I think probably the coaches can't be trusted because they're so far away. Like you're not gonna believe that the coach saw something that you didn't. So I guess it would have been on Adeyemi to protest more, and that would have made a difference.
Yeah, possibly. But anyway, that's it for Sascha
Very nice.
Stegemann. Give a
Now
round of
I have
applause.
very good, well done,
Applause.
very nice. Yeah,
Thank you for that.
No, interesting.
The bigger issue
I
with all
mean,
this
is this gonna like? I have some things to say. What are you gonna say? Go ahead.
I was going to say this podcast is about German football from an American perspective. So the bigger issue to take away from all this, and this is not the first time we've seen this in Germany. This happens. The German refs are always available right away. I want to just the bigger picture is personally, I love to applaud this behavior from referees. They come on, they explain themselves. They're humans. Humans make errors. We all understand that. So when this happens, you can sort of be like, good. I don't know. I just look at this and be like, I'm really thankful this happened. Right? For me, that's sort of the bigger issue with this. So for American refs and so forth, and our pro upper brass trying to figure out how to quote unquote improve themselves, these are clues. Like I said, the world of soccer is played all over the world. You got England, where they just fired their entire VAR staff and hired replacements and brought in specialists. And you got Germany, where they're pretty on point. Like German refs are, of all the games I watch, German officiating tends to be the best, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased. And every now and then there's a mistake. They apologize. They take the mistake. They take the fault. And they say, this was not correct, but this is why this happened. And I love it. They communicate to it right away. And as a fan, I'm so assured by that. I like that feeling. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I have to say about the whole thing.
I don't know. Do you feel? I wonder. I mean, if you're a Dortmund fan, do you feel better or worse? Do you feel like? I don't know.
You feel justified. That's what you feel.
You feel justified, but at the same time, you're not getting. It's not like they're going to replay the game. It's not like you're going to get the 3 points. So you've been officially screwed now. Versus before, you could just say, well, you win some, you lose some. He didn't see it that way. I mean, I don't know. I would feel worse in a way.
I mean, we'll have to agree to disagree. I mean,
okay,
a referee ignoring it and pretending like it never happened, that's infuriating. For people to be on your side.
Acknowledgement wins. I agree with you in the scheme of things. I guess but it is still. I mean, what I said to my brother was very down on the referees. He was really, and I said the same thing. I said, if you watch the Prem, it's worse. But
oh yeah.
But he thought that this is unacceptable. It's very. I mean, listen. If he calls a penalty, nobody complains.
Right.
But I did think, I mean, there are sometimes these like gray areas, especially in that law. Like I saw a similar thing in the Prem in Man City against who were they playing? Arsenal, where basically Kevin De Bruyne winds up to take a shot in the box, and the defender puts his leg out, doesn't get the ball, but puts his leg out, and so then Kevin De Bruyne hits the guy's leg instead of the ball. And everybody, and the commentator's like, oh, that's a penalty, no question. And the referee calls foul on De Bruyne because he picked the guy. He kicked the guy. So there's always going to be gray areas. There's some interpretation. In this particular case, you can make the case that they both have a right to go for the ball. It's not like Adeyemi has the ball. They're both going for the ball. Adeyemi puts his leg out and Suarez jumps in. And, I mean, granted,
he's not going for the ball was, we can't show it because they'll strafe us. They'll strike us.
Right. No, he sort of jumps into his back. He's a little out of control. Like I said, no one's complaining if he calls that a penalty, but there is a, what?
There is no ball. It's a two-legged behind tackle off the ball.
The ball is sort of passing
Yeah, like a meter.
The point
that
I'm
way.
making is that Adeyemi doesn't have control of the ball either. They're
Right.
both
It's an off the ball foul. is what
right.
you're saying.
But not every off the ball foul is necessarily a penalty. That's not how that works either.
Stegemann said his leg was out, which justified him not calling. So that's where the gray area is there. He's like, was Adeyemi selling it?
He's looking for the contact. Yeah,
Right.
he's looking to get fouled to
Right.
get the penalty because he's not going for. Yeah, and I think there is something to that. But anyway, the referee himself disagrees with me. He thinks it should have been a penalty. So there's that. But Riemann would have saved it, so it doesn't matter.
But
Dortmund
you're in
had
the
a
school
ton-
of thought where
Dortmund
the
had a
ref
ton
should have.
of-
You're in the school of thought where the ref should have just kept his mouth shut. He should not have come on TV.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not saying that. I think it's good. No, transparency is good. Acknowledgement is good. I don't know. As a fan, you're still pissed. That's all I'm saying.
Right,
I don't
that's
think
true.
I think I understand what you're saying. I understand that this is the way to go. Explain yourself. I think we all should make an effort to know the rules and understand what happens. Like I feel like a lot of, and this also is more in the Premier League. I noticed this than in the Bundesliga, where a lot of the commentators just willfully make it a point to not understand
Right.
A, the rules, and B, the process of VAR and what the, how this all works. And I think that does a disservice to your audience. We all should try to understand why these decisions are made and whether or not something is a mistake or not. It's all obviously extremely emotional and parochial as a fan. If you have some investment in the outcome of it, obviously you don't really care about the truth. You just care about your side getting it. And we had this experience. It was last season. Who were we playing? Same kind of thing where we got a tie when we could have won, and the referee made a mistake and afterwards said, "Oh yeah, I made a mistake. This was the wrong call. That goal should have counted that I disallowed." And it's like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. I mean, I still hate it. It's like, because you're not gonna get the points. You're just gonna be like, oh yeah, well, I'm glad yeah, we all knew. We all knew at the time.
Well, this is karma. This is karma because now you're on the other side of that call.
No, I'm on the other side. Yeah, I guess
so,
I'm being repaid for my good attitude.
That was just the Schnitzel Boys video on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. If you like that one, we've got a couple other ones right over here. And if you like that one, don't be afraid to subscribe, like, and ring that bell.
It's the Schnitzel Boys, it's the Schnitzel Boys, it's the Schnitzel Boys.